Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to the channel update for January 2017. First channel update of the year. Woohoo! Let's see, let's go ahead and get right into it because this is going to be just a very quick video. Gameplay stuff. Alright, so Harvest Moon's going great. I'm actually really enjoying playing it. I've said it numerous times in the gameplay. Harvest Moon was one of the first RPGs I ever played. And there's just something just really relaxing about the whole atmosphere of the game, and just overall, I understand that it's not for everybody, but I enjoy it. So that's good. I mean, and we're making really good progress on it too. Let's see. I'm not sure if this video is gonna go up on Tuesday or Wednesday. So if it goes up on today, which is Tuesday, spoiler, Super Meat Boy is coming to an end this week. The actual campaign finale is going to be on Tuesday, or was on Tuesday if this goes up tomorrow. And there'll be 2 bonus episodes. If you're familiar with Super Meat Boy, then you know that it's going to be Cotton Alley. If you're not familiar, oops. So one bonus episode is going to be up on Thursday. And the second bonus episode is going to be up on Saturday. Gotta warn you, they're both kind of long, because the one on Thursday is the entire Light World campaign. The one on Saturday is the entire Dark World campaign for Cotton Alley. And not gonna lie, there's a little bit of a cheeky moment there at the end. So tune in for that if you want. Alright. So yeah, with Super Meat Boy ending this week, there will be a new game next Tuesday, which, let me check the calendar. What's Tuesday? The 10th. Tuesday the 10th. There'll be a new game, and I think it's gonna be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's just say it's going to be a continuation of something from the past. I know that kind of sounds like I'm going to be picking up another series that was dropped, but it's actually going to be a brand new game. Let's see, next on the list, stream updates. Streams are happening. They are, I promise. Everything is set up for it. It's going to happen. I just got to figure out what game to stream, and that's the hard part. I'm kind of looking at maybe Mario RPG, because I want to say that was the first game that was streamed. Well, no, I guess actually the first game that I streamed was Donkey Kong Country, but Mario RPG is more... It's a longer game, so it'll work better for streaming. Because I want to do streams for at least 2 hours a session. But kind of leaning towards Mario RPG. There's a couple other games, but I think it's mostly going to be RPGs on stream. Unless you guys got some suggestions, I'm open to them. Just put basically any game out there that's not PS3 or PS4. Because odds are I have it, or I can track it down on like Amazon or eBay. So do that if you got suggestions. And don't want to talk about that. It's not on my list, but I suppose we'll jump back into the gameplay section real quick. I recently rediscovered MapleStory. And I played MapleStory way back in the day. Like way back in the day, like 2004, 2005, maybe. Like, that game is old. But I recently rediscovered it, and I really want to get back into it. So that might be coming to the channel soon. I'm actually trying to find some people, some reliable people to play with and form like a guild or something. So, we can really tear some mobs up. But there'll be more on that later. But I do want to get that going pretty soon. I guess that could possibly fall under projects, which is up next, and there is nothing major coming up. I am toying around with the idea of a new podcast that's been pitched to a couple of different people. I'm not going to say who, but it would be a multiple personality podcast. Like at least 3 people, possibly 4 to 5 people regularly. So if that gets off the ground, I'm pretty excited about that. But it's still in the very, very early phase of being talked about. So I don't know if that counts as a project. Other news. Went over this last month. I set up a kit, which is a great website where you can see exactly what I use, like all of my setup, and there are links there for each item that you can go and buy the exact same stuff. So if you're interested in starting up a channel, or you already do stuff but you want to get into streaming and stuff like that, everything from like the mic to the monitors to this camera to the tripods, dumb little accessories like this arm that holds this tablet that I use during certain streaming activities. I used to use it during regular gameplay just for a timer, but now I use it for a few other things, and just everything on there, and there's direct links to everything, and I never did look into the percentage, but if you buy something from my kit, I think it's like 3% of the total goes directly to the channel. So that's a good way to support the channel and get some great stuff. I also launched a Patreon, so if you want to support over there, I am offering exclusive, like early access to videos and things like that. Possibly even an exclusive podcast. That was also pitched to these same people, but it would be from a different perspective. Like just to throw a genre on it, the podcast that I mentioned earlier would be focused primarily around gaming. The other podcast, let's say it would be focused around anime. I'm not saying that those are the genres specifically, but just to give you an idea of how it would be split up. Still got some new shows in the works. I've actually got about 30% of a pilot episode for one done as of right now. I meant to get a lot more done, but surprisingly, the holiday time frame was a lot busier than I expected it to be. I also mentioned that I was considering maybe doing some vlogs, and I've decided that it's not going to be like an everyday thing, but I am going to try some type of vlogging from time to time. The problem with that, and I think other vloggers probably look at it the same way, is I don't find my life and the stuff that I do to be all that interesting. But then again, a lot of the vloggers that I watch, they do basically the same stuff I do. They hang out with people, they go to the grocery store, they hang out with people. So I think I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see how that goes. And that is basically it for the news portion. I also want to throw in just like a quick my 2016 type thing. So 2016 for me personally was a pretty good year for the most part. A lot of things happened in the personal life, um, like got married. A lot of other things are falling into place, so that's really good. As far as YouTube goes, I learned a lot when it comes to making videos. I learned a lot when it comes to editing. Um, Now my actual production and editing time, I would say, is probably cut in half, if not more. Like, the just to put it in perspective for you, the very first video that went up on the TOC channel was the first top 5 countdown. That probably took me, and that was the first time I had ever used Adobe Premiere. That probably took me 4 hours to edit, maybe even longer. And because I didn't know anything about like the different rendering aspects and all that, it probably took, I know I let it render all night. And when I say all night, like I started it at like 10 o'clock at night. And when I woke up around 7:30 the next morning, it was at like 97%. So I didn't know how to change settings or anything. So like leaps and bounds from that to now where I can edit 3 or 4 videos and put them in, what's that Adobe thing called? I gotta check and see what it's called now. Media encoder, I think. Yeah, Adobe Media Encoder. You can put like 3 or 4 videos in the queue there, and then walk away, and it'll do all 4 of those videos in 6 or 7 hours, maybe. Maybe even faster than that. I mean, it depends on what type of video it is and all that. Anyway, I'm talking about this way too much. But yeah, learned a lot when it comes to making videos, the editing, some back end stuff on YouTube. So all that has become a whole lot easier, a lot more efficient. Um, Low Country Gigatoshukan was a big one. Live streaming that was the biggest thing I had ever taken on as far as the channel goes. And I think it was pretty successful. Then shortly after that, had to kill Triforce of Chaos off. And I won't get into specifics here, but Triforce of Chaos is dead for the most part. On the back end, it still exists as a channel, but because I didn't want all that content to just be gone, when I decided to launch this channel, my personal channel, there was an option to merge it into this channel so that all those videos still exist. They are under the moniker of this channel, but technically on the back end they are still on the Triforce of Chaos channel. It's basically just like a redirect of a website. So they still exist, but they're under my moniker, which is a complicated way of making sure that the content still exists. Like, just because stuff happened doesn't mean that what's already up wasn't good, if that makes sense. I'll talk more about that later on. Like, there's a bunch that could be said about that. So now that I'm on my personal channel, first big project would be the Summoning the Reaper documentary, which was my first documentary to be filmed. I, at one point, thought I was way over my head, but it came out, in my opinion, pretty good, and most people seem to have good things to say about it. And to close out the year, I talked a little bit about this in the last update video, but being a part of the Universal Nerd thing that just started up, and I say thing because I don't want to just call it like a group, because that makes it sound a little exclusive. But it's pretty inclusive. Like I'm pretty humbled to be a part of that. There's some pretty amazing people in that group. And just to take it down just a little bit, I was bullied a lot growing up for being into anime and gaming and comic books and Power Rangers and all that stuff. And I kind of hid that for a long time. And for a while, that kind of like ate me up inside. Like I regretted having to hide it. And seeing how Omar just embraces it and like he just puts it all out there, you know, he is a pretty big inspiration for me to do the same thing. Like I'm also a pretty big introvert, and to see him just put all of that out there, you know, I can do that too. If he can do it, I can do it. And he's also very supportive of like just making sure that everybody in the group knows that it's okay to like this and this and this, and who cares what everybody else thinks. So that got a little deep there for a minute. It's kind of a little unscripted thing added in, but that's all I have on my notes. So quick recap: Harvest Moon going good. No more Super Meat Boy. New game next Tuesday. Got to find a game to stream. And check out Kit, Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff in the links below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.